All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a dimensional analysis problem. And we're going to start it here. And how do we get started? Well, we're asking the question, how many arpents are in 242.3 miles? Job 1, write down the number that needs to be converted with its unit. So always start with a number and then something that has only one unit. Do not start with a conversion factor. Many of us did this on our test. The system is a good system. Buy into it. So clearly, the only thing you're allowed to start with here is 252.2 miles. And I'll set up the conversion already without even looking for any information. I have to get rid of miles. I know it must be down there. So we're going to get rid of miles, and keep in mind, you're eventually going towards arpents. And arpents are only found here. And they're listed as the same as 35.5 meters per arpent. So I think I can go, well, I got to get rid of miles first. And go to something that can be converted to what? Not arpents, I don't have that yet. Okay, if I go to kilometers, then I think you guys are looking ahead. The students that said kilometers, I know you've got it. But there's something you didn't say to everybody else, because I know how to go from kilometers to meters and meters to kilometers, back and forth, right? So if you can go to kilometers, then you can get to meters. And once you've got the meters, there's your conversion to get rid of meters and give you arpents. So next job is kilometers and miles. That relationship's on the screen. This was given information on your test. 1.609 kilometers. We got that upstairs here. 1.609 kilometers for every 1 mile. I'll highlight it in yellow. Conversion factor. Now I can get rid of, well, you always know what you're getting rid of. The thing you have left on the top. Getting rid of kilometers, getting me to, anybody? Meters, that's right. Because arpents will be in my future. Once I get to meters, arpents are in my future. Arpent is related to meters in the fact that 1 arpent is the same as 35.5 meters. There's your pink highlighter. You don't get a highlighter for the conversion in the middle because it's one you have to know. Once again, I always ask it this way, and I don't think some students knew why I kept asking it this way. Which of those is bigger, a meter or a kilometer? A kilometer. I put a 1 in front of the bigger one, and then a number that's greater than 1 in front of the next one. This way, I don't have to do any exponents that have a negative in them. I don't like them. You may like them. Continue using them. Students will write down there are, instead of 1 kilometer for how many meters, which is what I'm going to write right now, 1,000 meters. Some students say there's 1 meter for every 0.01 kilometers. That's fine. It just doesn't, people don't talk like that. They don't. Do you? We talk like there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Nobody talks like there's 0.01 kilometers in a meter. They're the same thing. No. So that's why I do that. Personal preference. And then once again, well, there's only one thing in the denominator if you look at it. So you don't have to group all the things in the denominator, like I said. And does somebody have an answer for me?
10,977.45.
And the units are now arpents. It moved my decimal over because it tortures me like that all the time. There we go. And we need how many sig figs in this question? 4, because 242.2 miles, and everything on this handout is exact. So that's the only one I used. I think scientific notation is the safest way to go, because 4 stops here before this number's over, right? There are a couple ways to do it, one without scientific notation and one with. Here's the scientific notation, 1.098 times 10 to the, I move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that right? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't count. It's a big number, it's got a positive exponent. Big is greater than 1. Now you could have written 10,980 arpents. Those are both good answers. Don't add a decimal at the end of 10,980. That now would be 5 sig figs, and it's bad rounding too. So don't do that. Okay, a lot of arpents. Nobody talks in arpents. And then how many gallons are in 7.62 times 10 to the 5 grains? We got to find grains. Got to write down grains. It's the number we need to convert. That means grains will be in the denominator of the conversion factor. Grains. And I think the only thing I can go to is, let's see, grains, new highlighter, purple. Grains, they're here. That's the only grains I have on the whole page. You have to use it. You're forced to use it. There are 60 grains in 1 dram. 1 dram is the same as 60 grains. That's an exact thing. Purple. Okay, now you're at drams and you got to get to gallons. Well, any suggestions? She likes going to fluid ounces because she saw fluid ounces again up here where we're at liters, and we know liters can go to let's see, we don't know gallons. We can go, I mean, yes, you can go many ways, but I think the best way is grains to drams, of course, because you can't do anything else. And then drams to, is there a dram to liter? No, there isn't one. Fluid ounces, good. So that'll be in light pink. And drams and fluid ounces. We're going to go there next. And then fluid ounces to liters. And then liters to gallons. We got it all. There's a lot going on here. Baby blue. So yeah, we saved the best till the end, didn't we? So time to get rid of drams and get me to fluid ounces. 8 drams, 1 fluid ounce, light pink highlighter. That's not a highlighter at all. Light pink highlighter. Okay, you're at fluid ounces. Now I can go to liters. Top of the screen says I can get liters. There's 1 liter for every 33.81 fluid ounces. That's green. And the question doesn't want liters, but that's a volume, and we can convert that volume to gal. Gal right there. Gal on top. Wait a minute. Yeah, liter on bottom. It says 1 gal is the same as 3.785 L. Baby blue. This time I strongly suggest when you're doing the math, do all the stuff on the numerator first, which is easy. Type in 7.62 times 10 to the 5. That's your numerator. Because it's all multiplying by 1 after that, right? Then divide it by parentheses, and don't close the parentheses till you're here. And now you can hit multiply every time. We started our day talking about when we got our test back, some students, they hit this multiply by on the second one, they hit multiply by 8, and that moves it to the top. Unless it's part of a denominator with parentheses around it. So before you give me an answer, I like ballparking. It helps. Okay, ballparking is a good thing. 60 times 8. Well, 6 times 8 is 48. 480. I'm calling it 500 because I'm ballparking. 480 down there. 480 times 33. Well, 480 times 3. Why don't we make it 500 times 3 because we're ballparking? I know we're lying, but it's okay. 500 times 33. Well, times 3 is 1,500. 30 is 15,000. And then times 4 is like 60,000 down there, 60,000. So what's that? What's the exponent on 60,000? 10 to the 4th. So I'm expecting an answer in the tens or hundreds. Was I close? That's all my ballparking was for, by the way. Was my ballparking way off? What'd you get? Oh.
12.4516.
12.4516? 40516? 883. So I was in the tens ballpark, was pretty decent, huh? And just verify your units. If your units don't disappear, you've done it wrong. And a lot of you didn't even bother to write units at all. You just wrote number over number. How can you determine if you did it right? You didn't put, the units are telling you if you did it right or not. Otherwise, you're just randomly putting numbers on a page. That never helps anybody. So grains are gone. Grams are gone. Fluid ounces are gone. Liters are gone. Gallons. And this time 3 sig figs, right? 12.4 gal is our final answer. And that is the end of our video. There we go.